Will climate change cause the end of the world? Welcome to Understanding the Universe channel. Today's episode, we tackle a critical question. Will climate change cause the end of the world? Together, we'll explore the science, the risks, and the actions we can take to shape our planet's future. Let's dive in. Imagine this: a wildfire raging uncontrollably, reducing entire forests and homes to ash. A superstorm ripping through cities, leaving destruction where life once thrived. Sea levels swallowing entire coastlines. These images may sound extreme or part of a disaster movie, but they are very real, and they are just the beginning. As humanity stands on a precipice, nature's warnings are growing louder. This video is not just about the science of climate change. It's about the survival of our shared home and the critical choices that will decide our fate. Let's confront the question head-on and uncover whether there's still hope or if time is running out. Before we delve into catastrophic scenarios, let's begin with the basics. What is climate change? Simply put, climate change refers to the long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns on Earth. While the planet has always experienced natural cycles of warming and cooling, the current trend is anything but natural. It's driven largely by human activity, most notably the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. These fuels release greenhouse gases, particularly carbon dioxide, CO2, into the atmosphere. These gases create a heat-trapping blanket around the Earth. The result? Rising global temperatures, melting ice, and widespread disruption to the delicate systems that sustain life as we know it. But climate change goes far beyond degrees on a thermometer. Its effects are cascading, rippling across ecosystems, economies, and communities globally. Let's examine how it's already showing its devastating hand. Look around, and you'll see the signs are undeniable. Wildfires are burning longer and more fiercely than ever before, turning once flourishing habitats into barren wastelands. Flooding is displacing families, erasing entire neighborhoods from maps. Hurricanes, fueled by warmer oceans, are shattering records in cities alike. One of the most alarming symptoms of climate change is rising sea levels. The polar ice caps and glaciers are melting at unprecedented rates, pouring billions of gallons of water into the ocean. For someone living in a small island nation or a coastal city, this is no future threat. It's happening now, swallowing homes and displacing communities. Extreme heat waves are breaking records year after year, taking thousands of lives and devastating crops. And with more droughts, forests and farms are drying up, triggering food shortages in some parts of the world. This isn't a series of isolated incidents. These events are interconnected warnings that the planet is racing toward an unstable future. But the damage doesn't end there. The ripple effects of climate change reach into every aspect of life, forcing us to ask, what if these trends continue? What happens when this chain reaction becomes unstoppable? Climate change is not just about the environment. It's about humanity and the domino effect it's already setting into motion. Take the food we eat, for example. Crops like wheat, rice, and corn, the backbone of global food security, are wilting under extreme heat and drought. Imagine a world where food scarcity becomes the new normal, triggering hunger and conflict over shrinking resources. Then there's water. Melting glaciers may seem distant to many of us, but they supply fresh water to billions of people. As they vanish, rivers will run dry, and cities reliant on these water sources could face unprecedented crises. The natural world is equally fragile. Entire ecosystems, from rainforests to coral reefs, are disintegrating under the pressure of rising temperatures and ocean acidification. When habitats collapse, so do the delicate chains of life they support, erasing species forever. Even beyond nature, the dangers are personal. Human health is increasingly at risk as warming climates accelerate the spread of diseases, and heat waves kill tens of thousands. Millions could be forced to migrate from areas rendered uninhabitable, leading to overcrowded cities, strained resources, and even violent conflict. All these interconnected problems raise an unsettling possibility. Could we spiral into a scenario so dire that humanity itself is in danger? Could this really be the end of the world? The short answer? Yes, the world as we know it could end. Scientific projections suggest that without action, we'll cross tipping points that lead to irreversible damage. Imagine unthinkable scenarios like entire regions becoming too hot to inhabit, vast stretches of land turning into deserts, or large-scale resource wars erupting over freshwater and arable land. When you look at the chain reaction climate change creates, the stakes couldn't be higher. When one part of Earth's delicate balance falls, it takes others with it. Collapsing food systems lead to famine, famine triggers mass migration, and migration fuels geopolitical conflict. Left unchecked, the dominoes could fall faster than we might anticipate, leaving a planet that no longer resembles the one we call home. But is there any way back? Can we halt this slide toward the unthinkable? Now that we've confronted the worst, let's talk about something that's at the heart of this video: hope. Because while the threats are immense, we haven't crossed the point of no return. This is the moment where humanity faces a choice: keep hurtling toward catastrophe or chart a new course. We can't stop all climate change. Some effects are already locked in. But by acting swiftly, we can slow the warming, prevent its worst consequences, and adapt to the changes we can't avoid. The question is, are we willing to make the tough decisions needed to save our world? On a global scale, there are solutions within our grasp. Moving away from fossil fuels and transitioning to renewable energy is critical. Solar, wind, and hydropower offer clean alternatives to the oil and gas industries driving climate change. Protecting and restoring forests is another vital step. Forests act as the planet's lungs, absorbing CO2. Destroying them amplifies the problem, but replanting and conserving them can help reverse damage. Technology also offers hope. Innovations in carbon capture allow us to pull CO2 from the atmosphere, while sustainable agriculture can feed growing populations without destroying the planet. Global governments are taking steps through agreements like the Paris Accord. But is this action happening fast enough? That depends on us, on our voices, our votes, and our demands for change. Beyond governments and corporations, this battle requires all of us. It's easy to feel insignificant in the face of such a massive problem, but collective action starts with individual steps. Reducing waste, consuming less energy, and supporting sustainable products can help. Switch to energy-efficient appliances, drive less, and think critically about your diet. Plant-based options often have a lower environmental impact. But don't stop there. Raise your voice, educate others, and hold leaders accountable. Join community efforts to clean your surroundings or fight for greener policies. Together, these efforts can tip the scales. If this sounds urgent, it's because it is. The clock is ticking, and each passing year without action brings us closer to thresholds that could lock in global disaster. Imagine the difference between limiting warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius versus 2 degrees Celsius, cities at risk of flooding, species teetering on the brink of extinction, and millions more pushed into poverty or homelessness. Yet the flip side is this: with swift action, the future can look vastly different. Cleaner air, livable cities, thriving ecosystems, these aren't just dreams. They're possible outcomes if humanity takes its responsibilities seriously. Here we are at the crossroads. The question isn't only, will climate change end the world? The real question is, what will we do to stop it? The story of humanity isn't one of complacency or defeat. It's one of ingenuity, courage, and resilience. Climate change is our gravest challenge yet, but it's also an opportunity to rise to the occasion, rewrite the ending, and leave a better world for future generations. The time to act is now, because the truth is, the fate of the world rests in our hands. Will we choose action, or will inaction write the final chapter of this story? The choice is ours.